Okay, I also realized a few of you added the class this week. So that means you did not get the class website or the syllabus or whatnot. Okay, so this is the class website. That is the website. The landing page there will serve as the syllabus. Read it carefully. You'll also see links to homework as well as lecture videos. I try to record my lectures and upload them online for you guys so you can view them to review any material or if you have missed class. It is your responsibility to catch up. Those of you who just added, you're going to miss out on my spiel and warning against taking this class without the appropriate prerequisites. So I'm assuming that you all have a comfortable and confident grasp of algebra and its prerequisite concepts, arithmetic, adding and subtracting, numbers, decimals, percentages, and fractions. That goes, and if you're not comfortable with that, then I would advise you against taking the course. And again, if you're adding this week, please read through this carefully as it has some important dates and policies and information. Okay. Before I go on, are there any questions or issues? Okay. So let me just say, next week you will have a quiz. Okay? The quiz is going to be at the beginning of class from 7 to 7:30, so make sure you are here on time. I'm going to pass it out. You guys have 30 minutes to take the quiz. You are allowed a note card, okay? A 3x5 note card. You can have writing on that on both sides. You are not allowed to share your note card. You're not allowed to share calculators. You're not allowed to share any resources during the quiz, so make sure you have your own stuff, okay? When you guys, and I'll tell you guys, remind you next week, but when you sit down, I ask that you sit down so that there is one open seat between you and your neighbor. There is enough seats in this auditorium to accommodate everybody, so just keep that in mind. Again, I'll remind you next week, but if you come in and you sit down with an open seat, you won't have to move around. The details of the quiz will be on this week's homework page. So under homework 2 listed, you will have the assignment as well as the things you need to know for the quiz. Okay? Okay. So with that, we'll carry on. So last week, we covered chapter 1, talking about data, talking about numeric data, categorical data, and then we looked at displaying categorical data with a bar chart and summarizing it with a frequency table. Okay, so just to check our understanding, let's say I went about the classroom and I asked everybody, how old they were when they got their driver's license. Okay. So I asked everyone how old they were when they got their driver's license, and we find out that the mean age for when someone got their driver's license was 17.6 years old. Okay, this variable is it numeric or is it categorical? Numeric. It's numeric. And it's numeric because we're asking how many years old were you, and the answer is a number. Okay. Let's say I've gone around the classroom again, and this time I ask everyone whether you would consider yourself politically liberal, moderate, or conservative. And it turns out that 40% of the class considers themselves moderate liberal, and 30% considers themselves moderate, 30% considers themselves conservative. Is this variable numeric or categorical? Categorical. Okay. Again, just imagine the table of data that you are collecting, and everybody's answer is going to be conservative, liberal, or moderate, and that is a categorical response. Even though the summaries might be with percentages or with numbers, the responses themselves are categorical. Okay. All right, so just a quick check. Let's say we go to 2 different states, and we ask, are you, the same question, conservative, moderate, or liberal in ideology? And let's say one state, the responses, or the bar chart, look kind of like this. And then the other state, the responses are like this. So we'll say this is state A, and this is state B. Okay. Don't shout out the answer, but think in your head, which of these states exhibit more variability in political attitudes? Okay, don't shout out your answer. Think of it in your head. Which state exhibits more variability Okay, and your answer is?
A.
A. This has more variability for attitudes. And why is that? Because the different opinions are pretty all well represented. Close to being equally represented. Whereas in state B, it seems that the predominant political ideology would be those people who are conservative, and moderates and liberals are outnumbered. Okay, and so I think we can imagine certain states where maybe the vast majority think a certain way, and there are fewer people who have different opinions, okay? And so we would say those places are less diverse, at least when it comes to political opinions, than over here where it seems that there seem to be just about as many people who are conservative as there are liberal, as there are people who are moderate in their ideologies. Okay. Does that make sense to everyone? Questions? Okay, so that's just a review, quick review of what we covered last week. This week we're going to talk about numeric variables, picturing and displaying numeric variables and understanding variability there, as well as creating numeric summaries. Okay, so let's think of Okay. Numeric variable, that could be anything like age, weight, or height, things like this, okay? Things that tell us how much or how many. Numeric variables tell us how much. Or how many. And some examples are age, if we measured in years. Height. And weight. Okay. Okay, let's say we decided to, what's a show on the Disney Channel right now? Let's just say the Disney Channel, okay. Huh? I have no idea what you guys are saying. Alright, let's say we take a survey of people who watch the Disney Channel. Okay, so we take a survey of people who watch the Disney Channel and we ask, how old are you? What kind of answers will we get? So let's say, I don't know, some show. People who like some, I don't even know what's a show on the Disney Channel. Okay, but we'll just say, okay, so we ask people who watch the Disney Channel. How old are you? Okay, so we're asking your age. Alright, what kind of answers will we see?
Numeric.
Huh?
Numeric answers.
Okay, so yeah, numeric answers, and so answers will be like, I'm 12 years old. What other answers might we see? Huh?
18.
What's that?
18. 1-8.
1-8? 18-year-olds watching the Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Okay, alright. Alright, well my point is that most of the people who, the primary audience of the Disney Channel, I expect, okay, would be people who are, I don't know, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, you know, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, I don't know, 10, something like this, okay? Sure. Are there going to be 18-year-olds who watch the Disney Channel?
Yeah.
Yes, okay? Are there going to be, what other group might also be watching the Disney Channel?
The
Parents, okay?
of
So
course.
we're going to see like 40-year-olds and, you know, people like that in age, okay? So you can think of people who watch the Disney Channel, you're going to have, the primary audience will be kids. And then the second group will be the parents of kids. Okay, those are going to be the primary groups of people who watch the Disney Channel. Is the Disney Channel targeting people between 18 and 25?
No.
They're not targeting them. Are some 18 to 25-year-olds going to watch Disney Channel? Sure, but not very many, okay? The target audience are kids, so we're thinking like 11 and under, and then parents of those kids, so 30, early middle-aged or 30-ish people, okay? All right, let's think of another channel. I don't know, what's another?
HBO.
Let's say TNT, okay? Who watches TNT? Okay, that wasn't a little question to you guys. I wasn't asking. Who are the target audience for TNT?
Adults.
Over 18.
Adults, pretty much, okay? Grown. I mean, it's not like, it's not quote-unquote adult content, but their audience is grown-ups, okay? They're not targeting kids, and they're probably, you know, the long sought-after demographic is the 18 to 49-year-old demographic, okay? So they're targeting grown-ups, per se, okay? Or, you know, 18 to 49. Are older people who are older than 49 going to watch TNT?
Yeah.
Sure, okay? But also, you know, also people who are older. Some teenagers. Okay? Little kids, are they going to watch TNT?
Not really.
Not really, okay? Only if their parents are watching. Generally, okay? They're probably not going to be seeking it out. Okay, so think of these two groups, two audiences, okay? And think of the ages of these audiences. And we're going to ask, what do the ages of this audience look like? What do the ages of this audience look like? Okay? And we're going to explore what variability and how to display that and things like that look like. Okay? So I started listing off some ages here. This is not key, but let's make a histogram, okay, for the Disney Channel. Okay, so this is a histogram. What is the horizontal axis on a histogram? We've talked about histograms, correct?
No.
No? Oh, okay. I apologize. We will. I'm sorry. That was my other class then, where we talked about this. Okay. So a histogram is similar to a bar chart. Okay. Except on a bar chart, what's on the horizontal axis? So we have a bar chart up there. What's on the horizontal axis? The categories. The different categories are on the horizontal axis. And what does the vertical axis represent? The frequency. How many people are in that category? That's a bar chart. A histogram looks like a bar chart, but it's not a bar chart. Okay? So histograms are for numeric data. So keep that in mind. And we have bars that go something like this. Okay. Across the horizontal axis, these are values that the variable can take. Okay. And the vertical axis is the frequency or count of people. Sorry, frequency or count of people. That's the vertical axis for a histogram. Okay, we're going to pretend to make a histogram here, but based on these ages, we're going to make a histogram, and it's going to come from, we're going to have to first make a frequency table, okay? So here, this is not a complete set of data, but I will illustrate how to make a frequency table from these numbers here, okay? So we're going to make a frequency table. We're going to take these numbers and we're going to summarize them with a frequency table. In the frequency table, on one side, I'm going to have the ages. And on the other side, I'm going to have the frequency or the count. And rather than list off each age individually, I'm going to create a small range of ages. Okay? So I'm going to say ages 0 through 4, so that's 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then basically 10 through 14, 15 through 19, 20 to 24, 25 to 29, 30 to 34, 35 to 39, and then I would need one more row for 40 to 44. Is that okay? So I'm creating ranges of 5 numbers each. You guys see that? Everyone's okay with the creation of these bins. So I've created bins, which are small ranges of numbers. So I have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is an incomplete data table, okay? But let's say this is all the numbers that I have. How many people do I have listed that are ages 0 to 4?
0.
I don't have anybody who's between ages 0 and 4. How many people do I have that are listed as between ages 5 through 9?
8.
So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9.
I have 9 people who are between the ages 5 and 9. Okay? So my frequency here is going to be 9. Is that okay? Alright, and then next up, 10 through 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 15 through 19, I have 1. And then 20 through 24, I have nobody. 25 through 29, nobody. 30 through 34, nobody. 35 through 39, nobody. And then 40 through 44, 2. Okay. If your table can fit all the rows together, that's great. I had to split mine up into 2. You don't have to split yours up into 2. Just like that, okay? Okay, so this is a frequency table. It shows the number of people that have ages within this range right here. Okay? Is that okay? Good. And so based on that, I'm going to make a histogram. Okay? And so I'm going to start off, these are the different ages that it can take. And so I'm going to, the way we make histograms is we just take the left edge, the number that starts on the left. So it's going to go from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, and 45. Okay? So this is the histogram that we have there. Okay? And so the bar that goes from 0 to 5 actually represents all the numbers 0 and up to, but not including 5. So that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So how many people are between 0 and 4?
No.
0, okay? And then the next one, I've got 9 people. So I've got to count off vertically up to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And so between 5 and 9, I have 9 people. And 10 and 14, how many? I have 4. Sorry, my thing's getting a little skewed. And then 15 through 19, I have 1. And then I have 0, 0, 0. And then finally at 40 to 45, I have 2 people. So this is what my histogram looks like. What is this, what is the variable I'm looking at again? Ages of, yeah, okay, so ages of Disney Channel watchers, okay? And so we see that the biggest group of people who watch the Disney Channel are kids between 5 and 10. Okay, that's what we've got going on. All right. Let's say we were to make a histogram for people who watch TNT. So first we're going to make a frequency table. Okay, so these are the ranges of ages for each of the bins. And we're going to count how many people who watch TNT are between ages 0 and 4. Okay? So again, remember that a frequency table, this is a table to summarize the raw data. Okay? And so I'm kind of ignoring, so when we have raw data, and we use frequency table to summarize it. All right, so I'm just going to make up some numbers here. But I would expect that maybe we have 0 people between ages 0 and 4 watching TNT, and 0 people between ages 5 and 9 watching TNT. I don't know if there's any objections to that. Let's say we have 2 viewers here and 5, and maybe this is where the numbers start getting larger. 8, 9, 8, 5, 4. Okay, so let's say this is people watch TNT. Again, horizontal axis. I have the different values that we can take. And the vertical axis is the count. Okay. So I've got 0 here and 0 here. this bar is 2 units high. This bar is, how tall is the bar between 15 and 20?
5.
5 units high. Am I going too fast here? We're okay. Eight, 9, 8, 5, 4, 2. So that is a histogram representing the ages of people who watch TNT. Okay. What shows are on TNT? All I know is that basketball. Something, okay. Are we okay with the construction of a histogram? Okay. Yes.
So I have a question. So for example, in the frequency, you just put those numbers. So those were random numbers, right? That you would, because it says 18 to 49. So we don't know exactly.
Not random. I made these up,
You made
but
it
they're
up,
not
yeah.
random.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just kind of guessing at what numbers. Supposedly we have a raw data table with a whole bunch of ages listed, and I'm summarizing it into this. Okay.
So I think my question kind of is instead of random, it's you made them up.
Yes.
But if we get that on the test, then we get the opportunity to make the numbers up and then show the frequency.
This would be too ambiguous of a question
Okay.
to try to put on a test, okay? Don't worry about the test, all right? Worry about learning what we have here. Okay, well, why don't I give you an exercise, okay? I'm going to list off let's say we go to a retirement community and we ask people, how old are you? Okay? So we go to a retirement community and let's say this is the raw data. And I'm going to just make it real easy. Okay, I'm just going to put like 10 numbers here. Okay? And so let's say the ages we see are this. And let me say, go ahead and make a frequency table. And let's just, to make it easy, let's just have 3 categories, okay? We'll say 60 to 69, 70 to 79, oh, I guess 4, 80 to 89, and 90 to 99. Okay, so these will be your bins, these will be your ages. And we'll do the frequency, make a frequency table, and make a histogram. Okay, so go ahead, take a few minutes to do that. So what do we have in our frequency table? I've got 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's what I counted. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then our frequency, our histogram, we don't have to start at 0, we can start wherever we want, so maybe I'll start at just 50, and then we'll go to 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to have a bar here that goes up to 4, a bar here that goes up to 3, a bar that goes up to 2, and a bar that goes to 1.
So you go by tens instead of fives.
We go by the number that's on the left edge here. Okay? So we would not go by 5s, we would go by 10s because we're going, our bins went from 60 to 69. So
Okay.
the bins start at 60, 70, 80, and 90. Yes?
Could we start at 60?
You can start at 60, no problem.
That was my
Okay. Okay, so that is the making of histograms. So histograms, what kind of data are we dealing with here? Numeric data. Numeric data, we're doing histograms. Categorical data, we call them bar charts. Okay? With bar charts, you can rearrange the categories, the columns. So remember I had the first example, I had conservative, moderate, liberal. If I wanted to rearrange those and put liberal, moderate, conservative, that would be allowed. Okay? With a histogram, I cannot rearrange the columns, or the bars, because the bars go with the number line, and we cannot rearrange the number line. Okay, we also have dot plots. Dot plots, start off with a number line, and you've got to draw notches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 65, 70, so on and so forth. And okay, so dot plots, you've got a number line, and then you would go through and you would draw a dot for each person on that spot. Okay, so the first person I have is 64, and so I would draw a dot at 64. And then I would draw a dot at 72. And I would go through this and do this for all 10 people that I have. So the next one's at 65, 68, and if you have two people the same age, the dots just stack. And this is what our dot plot would look like. Okay? Alright. So dot plots and histograms, these are both tools or ways to visualize numeric data. I want to focus a little bit more on the histograms and talk about the shape of a histogram. Okay. So if we have numeric data, let's say we had different data sets, and we created histograms for each of these data sets. Okay? Let's say this is a histogram for a data set. What does it mean for the data set to have a histogram that looks like this? What values are most common?
Median?
The ones in the middle. Okay? The ones in the middle, these are the most common values. Values that are above the middle, do they exist?
Yes?
Yes, but they are less common. Values that are below the middle also exist, but are also less common. Okay? This is what we would call symmetric. The shape here is symmetric. Okay? And in our particular case, values in the middle are most common. As indicated by the tall bar in the middle. Okay? Values larger than the middle are less common, but exist. Okay? And also values that are lower than the middle are also less common. Okay? An example of a numeric variable that has this kind of shape, can you guys think of anything? I often say the heights of people. Okay? So people, average height. So if you're thinking of men, average height for men is around 5'9", 5'10", okay? Those heights are going to be most common.